Ever wonder why some people greet the dawn with unstoppable energy, while others struggle to peel themselves off the pillow? What's their secret to starting each day with such vigor and purpose? Today, we're peeling back the layers to reveal the ancient wisdom that powers these morning warriors. We're delving into the world of Stoicism, an age-old philosophy that's surprisingly relevant in our modern hustle culture. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This simple yet profound thought is at the heart of Stoic morning mastery. It's about awakening with gratitude, embracing each day as a gift, and channeling that positive energy into purposeful action. In this video, we're going to explore how Stoic principles can transform your mornings from mundane to extraordinary. How can these ancient practices be applied in today's fast-paced world to supercharge your day from the very moment you open your eyes? If the idea of revolutionizing your mornings excites you, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring that bell. Get ready for a journey back in time that will propel you forward in your daily life. Let's dive into the Stoic secrets to morning mastery. First up, let's dive into the concept of ikigai, a profound Japanese philosophy that's about discovering your reason for being, your purpose that energizes you each morning. Think of J.K. Rowling, who found her ikigai in the enchanting world of storytelling, leading to the global phenomenon of Harry Potter. But ikigai isn't just about monumental achievements. It's about finding joy and fulfillment in the everyday. Picture a baker whose ikigai lies in the art of baking, each loaf a masterpiece of his dedication. Or a teacher whose passion for educating shapes the future, one child at a time. Your ikigai could be anything that sparks joy and gives you a sense of purpose, a hobby that excites you, a professional ambition that drives you, or a personal project close to your heart. What is it that sets your heart ablaze and fills you with enthusiasm each morning? The Stoics believed in the power of purpose. As Seneca once said, "Our plans miscarry because they have no aim." When a man does not know what harbor he is making for, no wind is the right wind. Finding your ikigai means setting your sail towards your personal harbor, guiding your daily actions with intention and focus. It's about aligning your mornings with this purpose, creating a life that feels fulfilling and meaningful at its very core. Prepare for your mornings. Your journey to a remarkable morning begins under the stars of the previous night. Consider Tim Cook, Apple's CEO. His day starts at 3:45 a.m., but the groundwork is laid well before he opens his eyes. This isn't just about the discipline of waking up early. It's about intentional evening rituals that pave the way for a successful tomorrow. As the sun sets, it's time to dim the lights and disconnect from the digital world. This is your cue to slow down, to let the calm of the night seep into your being. In the tranquility of the evening, take a moment to reflect. Jot down a to-do list for the next day, but also ponder a Stoic question. What did I do well today? What could I do better tomorrow? As Marcus Aurelius would advise, this isn't just about planning your tasks. It's about aligning them with your values and goals. It's about going to bed with a sense of accomplishment and waking up with a clear direction. Preparing for your morning also means nurturing your body. A gentle stretching routine or a cup of calming herbal tea can signal to your body that it's time to rest and rejuvenate. It's about creating a sanctuary where sleep becomes not just a necessity, but a cherished ritual. This way, when you wake up, you're not just physically refreshed, but mentally aligned and ready to embrace the day with vigor and purpose. Avoid distractions after waking up. In the first golden rays of the morning, guard your mind from the siren calls of distraction. When Beethoven composed his symphonies, he did so in an environment of undisturbed focus. In our modern world, this means resisting the pull of the phone, the lure of social media, and the buzz of notifications. Instead, dedicate the first moments of your day to something enriching and soul-filling. Maybe it's a quiet meditation, a brisk walk, or simply enjoying the serenity of the morning. Remember Epictetus's words, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastering your morning means mastering the start of your day, setting a tone of calm and focus that reverberates through every subsequent hour. Wake up consistently. Consistency in your wake-up time is like the rhythm of a well-composed symphony. It's not just about the early hours, it's about the regularity. Commit to a 30-day challenge, rising at the same time each day. This is akin to training for a marathon, challenging at the start but gradually. Your body and mind adapt, building a resilience that transforms your approach to each day. As Seneca wisely put it, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Dare to be consistent and watch as your mornings evolve from a struggle into a time of empowerment and anticipation. Take it easy. In the pursuit of a disciplined morning, remember to be kind to yourself. It's about progress, not perfection. If you miss a morning, don't be too harsh. Even the greatest Stoic philosophers experience setbacks. The key is to acknowledge, learn, and move forward. Marcus Aurelius advised, be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Allow yourself grace in the journey of morning mastery. Recognize that some days will be better than others, and that's okay. Each new dawn is an opportunity to try again, to inch closer to the person you aspire to be.
Accountability partner. Embark on your journey of morning transformation with a trusted ally by your side. An accountability partner. This is someone who shares your commitment to growth and can help keep you on track. Think of it like the bond between a seasoned athlete and their coach, each playing a vital role in the other's success. This partnership is rooted in mutual respect, encouragement, and honest feedback. When you choose an accountability partner, look for someone who embodies the qualities you admire and strive for. Someone who challenges you to rise above and beyond your everyday limits. Your accountability partner is more than just a motivator. They are a mirror reflecting your progress, strengths, and areas for improvement. In the words of Seneca, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Together, you can set goals, celebrate achievements, and navigate challenges. It's about creating a synergy that amplifies your individual efforts. In moments of temptation to hit the snooze button or when motivation wanes, knowing that someone is there believing in you and counting on you can be the push you need to maintain your morning discipline. Remember, this relationship is reciprocal. As you lean on them for support, they lean on you. This creates a cycle of accountability and growth that extends beyond just your morning routine. It transforms into a bond that fosters personal development and collective achievement. In this partnership, you find not only an ally in your morning routine, but a collaborator in your journey towards a more disciplined, fulfilling life. Remember the perspective of death. In the Stoic tradition, there's a powerful practice known as memento mori, the reflection on mortality. It may sound somber, but it's a profound tool for gaining clarity and perspective. Each morning, remind yourself that life is finite. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This isn't about dwelling on the end. It's about embracing the present. Ask yourself, if this were my last day, what would truly matter? What would I focus on? This Stoic reflection helps strip away the non-essential, the trivial distractions that often consume our mornings. It sharpens your focus on what's genuinely important, nurturing relationships, pursuing passions, and making a positive impact. This perspective instills a sense of urgency and purpose in your morning routine. It encourages you to live each day as if it were both your first and your last, infusing every action with intention and vigor. By keeping the perspective of death in your daily consciousness, you cultivate a deeper appreciation for life. It's about recognizing the preciousness of each moment and using it wisely. This practice is not about creating fear, but about fostering gratitude and mindfulness. Each morning becomes a canvas to paint a day of meaningful experiences, knowing that our time here is limited but infinitely valuable. Practice negative visualization. A vital yet often overlooked tool in the Stoic arsenal is the practice of negative visualization. It involves imagining the challenges and obstacles you might face, not to foster pessimism, but to prepare mentally and emotionally for what lies ahead. This technique is not about expecting the worst, but about being equipped to handle it with grace and resilience. As Seneca wisely stated, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. By visualizing potential difficulties, you reduce their power to unsettle you when they do occur. Each morning, as part of your routine, take a moment to contemplate potential hurdles of the day. It could be a difficult conversation you anticipate at work, a challenge in your personal project, or even just the possibility of traffic on your commute. Imagine these situations clearly and consider how you would navigate them with composure and effectiveness. This mental rehearsal primes you to respond with poise and adaptability rather than react impulsively or with stress. Negative visualization also cultivates gratitude. By acknowledging that challenges could arise, you learn to appreciate the moments of peace and success even more. It's a practice that balances your perspective, allowing you to embrace the good while being prepared for the less than ideal. This Stoic exercise turns your morning routine into a training ground for emotional resilience, teaching you to approach life's uncertainties not with fear but with preparedness and a balanced mindset. Maintain a gratitude journal. A cornerstone of a mindful morning routine is the practice of maintaining a gratitude journal. This simple act can be transformative. Each morning, dedicate a few minutes to write down things you're thankful for. It could range from significant achievements to the smallest pleasures, the smile of a loved one, the tranquility of your morning cup of coffee, or a project progressing well. This practice aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing on what we have, not on what we lack. As Epictetus advised, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. By starting your day acknowledging the positive aspects of your life, you set a tone of contentment and positivity. This isn't just about feeling good. It's about reprogramming your mind to recognize and celebrate abundance. Over time, this practice can shift your entire perspective, helping you to see the world and your place in it in a more appreciative and optimistic light. Visualization and affirmations. Complement your gratitude journal with the practice of visualization and affirmations. Visualization involves picturing your day, your goals, and the successful outcomes you wish to achieve. Imagine conquering challenges and reaching milestones. Pair this with positive affirmations, powerful self-affirming statements that reinforce your capabilities and goals. Affirmations like, "I'm capable of achieving my goals," or "I'm worthy of success and happiness" can reframe your mindset, instilling confidence and positivity. Stoicism teaches us the power of our perceptions. As Marcus Aurelius remarked, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Through visualization and affirmations, you're actively shaping those thoughts, setting the foundation for a day filled with purpose, self-belief, and a positive outlook. This dual practice not only prepares you for the day ahead, but also reinforces your long-term vision, aligning your daily actions with your overarching life goals. Incorporating these 10 Stoic principles into your mornings paves the way for a day filled with purpose and achievement. Liked what you learned? Share this video with someone who could use a morning boost, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights. Together, let's embrace our mornings and transform our lives.